Another embarrassing loss for the Miami Dolphins. They lose at home on a game-winning, expiring field goal from Chad Ryland as the Cardinals beat them in upset fashion 28-27. This is Dolphins Today by Chat Sport. I am Nic Rohloff, and I don't want to be morbid. I don't want to be negative, but it's hard not to be. And you saw a very negative and passionate Nic Rohloff last week after the loss to the Colts. But I said there was still optimism with Tua on the horizon and an easy 5-game stretch against Arizona at home, in Buffalo, in Los Angeles against the Rams, and then 2 home games against the Raiders and Patriots, where if you go 4-1 in that stretch, you're back right where you have a chance. Well, I'm not going to be optimistic anymore because you lost 28-27, and I'm going to divulge into what went wrong in this game, but it's hard not first takeaway to be this team should probably be sellers at the November 5th trading deadline. There's no reason to keep any of your veterans or your guys that might be free agents and leave you. If people want them and they're willing to give you 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round picks, might as well stockpile picks and get young talent in this upcoming draft because, well, what's the point of any of this? Because you're definitely not going to run this team back. This team stinks. They just make unbelievably stupid mistakes. They do stupid things consistently, and I'm sick of it. And it's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating to the point to where I don't even want to really show the emotion I did last week when I was upset at the Colts loss. Because why should I put in so much emotion for this football team when they're going up there and throwing stinkers out every single week? Like, I'm sick. There are 2 wins this year against a horrific Jacksonville Jaguars team, and you only won because Travis Etienne fumbled at the 1-yard line, and then against the Patriots team, and they're horrible. Now, granted, they did beat the Jets today. And even though it doesn't really matter because division standings don't matter when the Bills are so far ahead of everyone else. But how about this? The Dolphins are 2-5, and they're still second in the AFC East. I don't even know how that's possible. But let me know, and we're going to ask this question here. Should the Dolphins sell everyone at the trade deadline? Everyone might be strong, but anyone not on a long-term deal, I'm selling. Manuel Agba, probably trading him if the team wants him. Calais Campbell, he's played so good. I would trade him if someone offers a 4th, 5th round pick. Maybe even Jevon Holland, who we're talking about his injury later on in the show. But anybody on a 1-year deal are going to be a free agent. Might as well move on from him now. Because why would any of these people re-sign with how bad this team is? Let's get into some of the game now and break down what happened. It's very unfortunate because the offense played well. Like, the Dolphins' offense did exactly what I expected them to do. They came back. They looked competent. They looked efficient. It's frustrating that they had a chance to end this game up 27-25 with 6 minutes to go. And if they went down and scored a field goal or scored a touchdown, they would have won this ball game potentially. But they ultimately got stymied at the 50-yard line after picking up a pair of first downs. And they had to punt it away where Kylar Murray went down the field and threw a dagger into you. But you moved the football well on the ground and through the air. Didn't turn the ball over. Well, that's misleading. You have no technical fumbles, but you fumbled the ball through the back of the end zone on an errant snap from Aaron Brewer. That it was a high snap, yes, but Tua got his hands on it. It went right through him, high and outside here. It would have been an incredible catch from Tagovailoa, but he could have technically caught it. Unfortunately, that he was not able to. Resulted in a safety and kind of the difference in the ball game, right? Because if they didn't have a safety, it would have been 27-24, and the Cardinals would have had to score a touchdown to beat you rather than kicking a field goal. Frustrating. But Tua, I thought he looked good in his return, man, and you could just tell that the offense is so much better with him. Efficient, didn't really push the ball downfield, had one big pass play where he found Tyreek Hill on a little fade route, 35-yarder down the field. It was very nice to see the offense have at least one explosive play today. But, man, still not the best. Also frustrating, 27 points. I actually predicted them to score 27. My score prediction was 27-14. Just allowed 2 more touchdowns than I expected. I expect the Dolphins defense to play better today, especially not having to be on the football field as much as they've been over the course of the season with the offense sustaining drives. Dolphins offense did what they needed to. Tyreek Hill looked the part. Devon Achane was slicing and dicing. I mean, it's hard to really explain how the Dolphins lost this game. You just were unable to generate any pressure on Kylar Murray, and for that reason, he was able to stand back there and dissect your defense, which has been the number one passing defense in the NFL all year long. I want to look at the stats here. I believe they have no sacks in this game. Let me find it. No sacks. Terrible, man. No sacks on Kyler Murray. And you had about 3 or 4 opportunities to get a sack, and he made you miss in the backfield when you brought blitzes from Jordan Brooks, Jalen Ramsey. An annoying part about this as well is that the Dolphins could have gotten the ball back with a minute 15 to go in this game, minute 20, minute 30. But on 3rd and 4, they ran a QB sweep with Kyler Murray, and Marcus May had a clear shot at him at the line of scrimmage coming down from a safety spot, and he just flat out whiffed and got juked out of his shoes, and Kyler Murray scrambled for a first down. Moral of the story, way too many missed opportunities by Miami. And you can talk about that offensively, too. As good as the offense looked, in my opinion, for most of the game, there was 2 possessions that stalled inside the red zone. And you had to settle for, one possession that stalled inside the red zone where you had to settle for a 20-something yard field goal to go up 13-7 before the half. The other field goal was a 53-yarder, but scored 3 touchdowns, kicked 2 field goals. One of them could have been a touchdown, but you got stalled in the red zone. Missed opportunities, name of the game. Don't miss an opportunity to go to any live event, whether it's a sporting event, comedy show, concert, theater, doesn't matter. Make sure you use Game Time to get your tickets the best way and the lowest price guaranteed. Make sure you download the app, create an account, and use code ChatSports to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. They got a great feature, Game Time Picks. It filters out the fluff to only show you incredible deals on great seats, so don't waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Game Time also has all-in pricing, which is just terrific. It shows you the total price of your ticket up front rather than getting blindsided at checkout. So that's always good and fun to not make sure you're getting the lowest price guaranteed. Like I said earlier, download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS to get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. But again, code CHATSPORTS to get $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. I guess we could flip to the defense now before we close out today's show with the injury news. I mentioned it. Kyler Murray just was – and listen, Tua was good in this game in his return, but Kyler Murray was the better quarterback. He's the more dynamic guy as well, and you can see why. He's just so agile, so elusive. He makes you miss. We talked about the Dolphins having no sacks today. The Dolphins had, I think, 3 opportunities to bring him down to the ground. 1 Jordan Brooks, 1 Jalen Ramsey, and I think 1 Chop Robinson over the coming off the edge as well. And you missed all 3 times. Kyler Murray is just so shifty that he just makes you miss. And he was scrambling outside the pocket and making touchdowns happen. Like, it just sucks, dude. And I know Tua is not that type of athlete, and Kyler Murray's a 1 of 2. There's 2 quarterbacks that are as agile and elusive as Kyler Murray is. It's him and Lamar Jackson. Those are the only 2. So it's like an anomaly type of thing, but it just shows you what a quarterback that can do what Kyler Murray can do with his legs does for a team. And they were just so good today in terms of avoiding pressure and making plays happen in extra situations. The ability for the Dolphins to not get a sack is the reason why you lost. Another reason is how bad you were over the middle of the field. Like, your secondary, which was the best in football coming into today, got cooked in these soft zone coverages. I would have liked to see them play potentially more man-to-man, but even when they played man, it didn't go so well for them either. Trey McBride made a living on these 7-yard, 8-yard little quick out routes, quick throws over the middle of the field. And he had a couple big corner routes for 18 yards, had a 35-yarder to open the second half. Trey McBride beat your linebackers nonstop, beat your safeties nonstop. He's one of the top 5 tight ends in football in terms of receiving, yes, but Jordan Brooks, David Long Jr., Marcus May, Jordan Poyer, those 4 had a rough day at the office trying to guard Trey McBride. And Marvin Harrison Jr., a top 5 pick from Ohio State, who has yet to really break out this year. He had an unbelievable game in week 2, but other than that, he's been not good. Today, he had a great game, 6 for 111, a touchdown. Had a back-breaking first down because the Cardinals had it 1st and 20 at their own 27 on that game-winning drive. It's 2nd and 15. Kyler Murray just sitting in the pocket, no pressure whatsoever, drops a dime in between Cam Smith and it was Jordan Brooks or excuse me, David Long Jr., and they converged on Marvin Harrison Jr. as he caught it and hit him pretty hard, but he hung it in there and caught the 17-yarder for a first down. Like, sometimes you could get frustrated at the Dolphins, and I am extremely frustrated right now, and I just am so down on this football team. But sometimes you guys got to give credit to the Cardinals for making plays, and Marvin Harrison Jr. made a couple unbelievable catches. One of them standing out was that touchdown over Jalen Ramsey. Another one was that one play where Kylar Murray got pressured within 1 second of receiving the snap and just threw up a little corner route heave without even looking for MHJ, just hoping that he was going to get to that spot. And MHJ made a diving catch on third down, which extended a drive and ultimately got them a touchdown, which made it a 27-25 game with 7 minutes to go. That was the difference. The Cardinals able to make big-time plays on big-time downs with McBride, MHJ, Kyler Murray with his legs. That's what it is, man. It is what it is. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Picked up 400-plus subscribers on our watch party today. Appreciate all the new, real ones. Man. It's so frustrating with this team. We're still going to be here every day with videos and live streams, but God, it's frustrating. Let's talk some injury news before we head out of here. Jevon Holland was the most pressing one. He was questionable with this game with a hand injury as a bone in his broken bone in his hand. He ultimately played in this game without a cast, but he left the game with a knee injury in the second quarter and was ruled out at halftime. Another reason why you subscribe is because we will break it down for you on his injury and his future status. And I think his injury status will actually ultimately depend on what happens with his future. Because if he gets traded, or if he has any thought to being traded, he's going to have to be healthy. If he's not healthy with a knee injury, they probably won't trade him. Man, it's frustrating, man. No other way to say it. We'll round up today's show. This question, we asked it off the top. I want to hear everyone's thoughts again. Should the Dolphins sell everyone at the deadline? Not saying like Tua. I'm not saying like Achane. I'm not saying like Tyreek Hill. I'm not saying Jalen Waddle. Any of the guys that have been here long-term and will be here long-term as well, Jalen Ramsey, those guys are off the table. But the veterans, Calais Campbell, Jordan Poyer if a team wants them, Jevon Holland, who's a free agent, Emmanuel Ogbah, these type of guys that are on one-year deals. Let me know. Should the Dolphins sell everyone at the deadline? Why for yes, for now.